my wrestling.
Hey guys, we're going to work on my Lighthouse for the piano. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to build these chords if something looks unfamiliar to you, and then we're going to spend most of the time on my hands so you can see what I'm playing. I want you to not worry so much about the arrangement of where I'm playing what, but more focus on making sure you have the chord structure correct, and then the rest will come later. So let's travel with me over here. Let's look at this page. Okay, so C5, a 5 chord means you have the root and the fifth of the chord with no third. So in a C5, can we go down to my hands? So in a C5 chord, you have C, third would be E, but we're not going to play that because it's a 5 chord, or you can also call it a power chord. You have the fifth, which is G. So C5 is going to be C and G. And for all of these chords in your right hand, this is the way I'm going to break it down for you. I'm not saying this is the best way to play the piano all the time. It's just easiest to start out. In our right hand, we're going to worry about the chord. In your left hand, you're going to play the root of the chord, which is the name of this note. So in my right hand, I'm going to be playing C and G. In my left hand, I'm going to play C, because C is the root of the chord. So when I play C5, I'm going to play it like this. Okay? The next chord is an F2. F2 means we add the 2 to this existing chord. So come back to my hands. So in an F2, we have F, the 2 is the G, right? The 5 of the chord still is C. And we also could play a 3 in there if we wanted to, but let's not, because that'll make kind of a mess. So for F2, we're going to worry about that. So we've got F, G, and C. In your left hand, you'll have F, right? Because that's the root. F is the root of the chord. So to simplify it, so we're coming from C5. So back on C5 is like this. Now I want you to remember that F2 was F, G, and C. So since we've already going to have F in our left hand for F2, we're going to just keep G and C, which is what you were playing, G and C, G and C, which is what you're playing in your right hand already. Okay? So that's a whole lot of words to explain to you that when you play C5, you've got C, C, and G. When you play F2, all you have to do is change the bass to F. That is F2. C5, F2. Looks like it should be a lot different, but it's pretty much the same. You're just changing the root. Okay, and then when we talk about G sus, right here, a G sus is a chord we build off G, right? Sus is suspended, which is usually a suspended 4. So if G is 1, 3, and 5, right, this is how you build a basic chord, 1, 3, and 5. So there's our 5, there's our 1. In a sus chord, you play the 4 instead of the 3. So our sus is mainly G and C again, which is the same thing we were already playing. So this is C5. For F2, you just go up here to F. For G sus, we're going to stay on C again. It's still a sus. Right? So all of these chords are basically the exact same thing in your right hand. C5, F2, C5, F2, G sus. If you want to add this D on the G sus, you can. Back to C5. And the only thing different you're going to see in this verse is that C over E, this is telling you something different in the left hand. So at this point we have a C chord, and we're going to do over E in your right hand. I mean your left hand, sorry. Okay, so let's go through all these chords one at a time. I'm going to call them out while I play them. So if you can just stay on my hands, Brandon. I'm going to do it slow. Okay, here we go. C5, F2, C5, F2, C5, G sus, C5, F2, C5, F2. Here's the C over E, just a different note in my left hand. G sus, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to sing it this time. So we're just working on the verse right now. Ready? Here we go. In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. So when I'm saying that don't worry about arrangement, at a certain point you're going to want to add more stuff in. That kind of stuff. But for right now, the most important things is hitting the correct chord at the correct time.